हाँ हाँ गोइंग हाँ हाँ यू आर लाइव हो गया दिख दिख रहा है ना ओके so hello everyone and welcome to the right education and today we are going to starting right now a new series of networking. So here is the content material what we are going to learn in this field. There are the so many things that we are going to cover, very much basic, and I am your volunteer Nadeem Pathan. So that I'm going to proceed your this series on networking. So let's start with the very basics, and you're going to know very much interesting fact about this series. So let's begin. This course is especially for a network essential. So this we gonna talk more about in this series. Very much basic. So first of all, question is why we need a network? Why we need or required of networking? So it is a very important if you think in as a networking perspective. Networking play very crucial role in any of the field. If we talk about the companies, so they need to communicate with any of the way. So networking is the only way they can communicate with each other or the local user or the beneficial or their advantage disadvantage. Without networking it won't be possible. So as you can see here some of the tool here like OpenShift or Kubernetes, Docker, these are the tool are specially used for networking. uh, it doesn't mean that this tool is obviously they are meant for containerization tool, but this tool internally somehow they use the networking. So if you want to go in the deep dive of this any of this tool, if you know the networking, it will be very much helpful and very much beneficial for you. If you talk about the if you want to do anything networking part without Linux, it won't be possible. So if you know the Linux, it is good, but if you want to take the advantage of your Linux, so you need to learn networking. And one more thing is very much beneficial thing, this is a cyber security. So if you go any of the domain of the cyber security, if you can't go directly on the cyber security, is this the first thing. Without cyber security you can't do any, sorry, I mean without networking you can't do anything in the cyber security. It is the most important for networking. So you know you have to know what is the networking, what will be the type of the networking. We will learn more detail in about networking. So one more part is web development or app development. So we know you use the lots of application that we are using in nowadays, many of them, but internally somehow they are also using some part of networking, because you cannot connect any app or any technology without the network. So networking play a very crucial role in any of this domain. So networking is the must is to must required in any of the domain if you go. So that is the beauty of network, and network can do lot of things. We will discuss more in the another template. Okay, so now next point is what is network. Network is two or more computers that are connected together, usually by cable or a Wi-Fi. Some computers will have a server. A computer is a powerful computer that often act as a central hub for a service in a network. Example: emails, internet access, and file storage. These are the if you talk about the network with the networking is almost a very uh, wide range of the popularity, because networking, you can think in this way, network is very crucial and very important. Without network we can't do anything. If you talk about the often of the services, so there are the so many service, but networking is the very important and very crucial, and networking is play very important role in day-to-day life. Without network we can't connect even in live stream, in this live streaming also. So networking is most important for. But what is usually in the network means, if you want to share or transmit any file from one computer to different computer, this is the beauty of the network. Without a network you can't transmit or you can't share your data one computer to another computer. So we have some types of network. Usually there are the more types also there, but we can only discuss these five types. Why five? Because these types are usually much more discusses, much more useful in any of the network domain. So we are the five type of networking, five types of networks. One is a local area network, second one is a campus area network, third one is metropolia area network, fourth one is wide area network, and fifth one is personal area network. So let's deep dive into the one by one very easily. So what is local area network? Local area network is a collection of a device connected together in a physical location such as a building, office, or a homes. You can think in this way. Let's say we have router services or any of the networking service. So first you can call the service. So you have your own personal computer, you have your own net router. So with the help of your router you can connect your home network, and you can use it in your if the router is Wi-Fi based also, so you can use in your phone also, in your local computer also, and other your Wi-Fi based appliance also. So that is the locally connected to your environment. Let me draw you and then I will tell you much more about. Let's say this is a router, this is your router, and this is your PC, this is your PC. So now router is connected to your PC. So if the router is a Wi-Fi based, so you can connect with your mobile phone also. But if you have a printer, so let's say your printer is also a Wi-Fi based or a wire based, so your printer is also connected with your router. So these things are connected with your local appliance. Now the known outsider will come into your network, because this is a local area network of your own personal network. And in this network you are the owner of this network, you own this network. That's why this is a local. See most in small offices and small businesses, and even in our home also. So if you have your local area your own setup, so in this setup you can set your own network. That is the beauty of network. So it can locally set up in your own physical field. Network is a corporate network, or can is a computer network made up of a interconnection of a local area network within the limited geographical area. If you talk about let's say we area network is called a local area network. They have their own local area network. This also have their own local area network. This also have their own local area network. So now, but these three office come in one major office. Let's say this is a mechanical department, or this is a chemical department, this is a computer department. Now this is the part of one campus. So this campus is gonna campus area network, which also known as campus area network. So actually they are consist of local area network. Internally they are using a local areas network only, but if you convert this all the office into the one camp area network, so it's have also a limitation. But you can see with the help of a one building to another building, they have connection somehow internally. We will see in the topology section how they are internally connected with their own personal area, and how they can share outer campus office to another campus. I hope you listening all of this thing. So, what is metropolitan area network? Metropolitan area network is a computer network that interconnect a user with computer resources in geographical geographical regions of the size of metropolitan area network. You can think in this way. Let's say we have two city. For example, let's say Baruch. This is Baruch, and this is the let's say one more city, Ankleshwar. Uh, you can think your own city also. I'm just choosing a random name. So let's say this city have their own local area network in their small offices and small appliances and campuses, and this city also have their own on small offices, small businesses, and this city also have their own campus in their area for their local civilization user. So this here also have other campus area network. So if you bunch this consist of city, it's not only two city, there have more cities also. So if you bunch these cities in one section, so this city is also known, this city's areas is also known as metropolitan area network, which also known as in a short form MAN, metropolitan area network. So let's move to the next one. So what is wide area network? Wide area network, also known as WAN, is a larger network of information that is not tied to a single location. What does that mean? Let's see. So basically, wide area network means, if you think in this way, uh, wide area network, we do not have any single node to connect this wide network. Uh, um, it doesn't mean that this area do not have connection. They have connection, but they have so many different connection. Actually, this area covering entire entire countries, this network can connect entire countries of the different region. You can think in this way. And if you talk about how they can connect, so let's say I am from India, so my city have my own connection, which also known as a port kind of thing. We will discuss what is a port and what is their uh, subline cable and all those through. So this let's say they have one connection here also, they have one connection in here also, and here also. So if let's say this area is goes down, this connection is goes down, so we have the here node, one node we have here, so they can proceed our country to network from this node. And if let's say this one also node goes down, so they can proceed from here also. So that is the beauty of that, with a bunch of different node. If you talk about any other countries, they have their own then different nodes. Any other countries have their also different node, so they can connected widely with another node one by one. If one of the node goes down, they can redirect their node, and they can without any delay, they can use the network in their own personal countries and their own personal areas. That's that is the beauty of wide area network. Actually, internet, if you know, if you talk about the internet, so internet is the great example of wide area network. If, because internet is available in everywhere. If you talk about the every countries, so in every countries we have the internet. So and that is the reason wide area network is the example of internet. So let's see what we have next. What is personal area network? A personal area network is the conquered with the exchange of information in the vicinity of a person. So what that mean? Let's see in the dashboard. So let's say I have my personal phone. In my phone, I have my personal network, any of the network that I have. So my personal domain network, and they provide me internet service. So now I have internet service in my phone. So right now, if I turn on the hotspot and I connected to my laptop that's with this same hotspots, and this device or my phone is sharing a network to my laptop also, and my computer also. So now this network is my phone is sharing a network to another devices, another appliances. Even if I have wireless printer also, so I can also use in my wireless printer also. So my wireless printer can also use my phone hotspot or my phone network. So now this type of a network of this type of a small setup, you can think in this way. This is your personal area network. So actually it is an example look like a when a LAN also, but in LAN we have the we have the configuration of a router and their all hub and repeater switches, networking device kind of thing. But in this example we do not have any networking device. We only have the one multifunctional device, which is our smartphone, and this smartphone is sharing their network to our personal appliances. So this type of network is known as personal area network. So now let's see another one. And personal area network and wide area network. These are the top five types of the network, and mostly all the network consist of these five types of area network only. So this type of the network we can usually set up in our uh, local lands, or maybe companies also in our local home also. These are the beauties of the network. So let's focus on the another part of this topic, and another part is OSI model. So what is OSI model? OSI is a model is a open system interconnection model, was firstly purposed by International Standard Organization to solve the multi problem facing in telecommunication. The open system interconnection model is concept model that characterize and satirize the communication function of the telecommunication or computer system without regard to its underlying internal structure and technologies. So what is that mean? You can think in this way. Let's say when let's say when we talk about let's say we have a guy here and B guy here. So if A want to communicate with the B, so if A want to communicate with B, so maybe they have their different way also. For example, likewise we can say mm, like they can I don't know, have you ever heard or not about that you know that we can create a one experiment in a childhood, one cup, and we can tie this with a one string, and tie this another cup here, and we can tie this string to each other here and there each other. So now this is the cup string kind of phone call, something like that. So if this guy speaks something, so and this guy have to listen first. This guy have to listen first. Then if this guy, if B guy say something, so A guy have to listen first. So we and if you tie another string here and attach the one more cup, so now C guy also can hear their what they are discussing. C guy can also hear what they are discussing. So you can think in this way. This is a way to communicate. Now if someone come, or let's say he belong to the different region or different country, so the way of the communicate of this guy is they maybe they use a lamp also. If they want to communicate, they use a lamp. But if we talk another region and another countries, so they communicate with the help of fire. They communicate with the help of fire. So now, as you can see here, they have this guy have different way to communicate, and these countries have different way to communicate. These countries have different way to communicate. So now you can think in this way. This every companies and what they do, especially if we talk about here international standard organization, they came here and they see that might be if we talk about any network. So if we I don't know, have you heard about Nazis war, the Cold War that's really going on in a very I'm not good at history at all, but you know about that Nazis war. So Nazis, how they communicate? They communicate with the help of some kind of code, like Enigma kind of code. So how they communicate with their army? So they they actually set up their own personal network. So only Nazi soldier can understand what they are the, going to take action. But if we talk about another country, so any other country can't understand what they are telling, or what they are transmitting, what they are talking. So one organization come, international standard organization, they say uh, one organization come, international standard organization, they come and they say you have different way to communicate, you have different way to communicate, you have to different way, you have different way. But we have so much problem here now, because what you are communicating, what A guy is communicating, B guy cannot understand. C guy what communicating, D guy cannot understand. So let's come together and sit together and make a one standard of this network. So whatever you can communicate, B can also understand, C can also understand, and D can also understand. So this is actually, you can say, they making a standard in networking. So standard is just like, now you have to follow this standard only, you can't go without this standard. So what this means, you have to, if you want to communicate in the network, so you have to follow this standard. Without its standard, you can't communicate with network. There are other ways also, but they are mostly discussed in personal area network. The company built their own personal area network, and they create their own standard. So none of the outer guy come and understand what they are discussing in their network. Actually, this but if you talk about as a real world perspective, but mostly real world, and every time, every world, they are using this standard only. Without this standard, you can't possible, and it won't be possible to communicate with one network to another network. So what is the standard? Let's see. So actually this standard is just like a layer. This layer is called types of different types of layer. So there are the 7 types of layer. Actually this is an OSI model layer. There is one more model layer also there. We will discuss that point in time when that time came through. So types of layers in OSI model. There are the 7 types of layer: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. So what is the beauty of this layer? Actually every layer is doing something on that particular portion. So let's see into it. So as you can see here, first 7 layer of OSI model: transmit and receive. First, if you want to if a sender want to send something, so the layer center want to send something, so a layer can start from the application layer. Means if I want to send any data, so my data first came through the application layer only. But if I am the receiver, so my data transmit or my data flow should be in physical layer. Means my layer starting layer should be physical layer only. But if you want to memorize this layer, so it is a good, and it is a good practice to start from the bottom, which from the physical layer. So if you have a plan to memorize this, so go on from the last layer or physical layer, and from this one by one, you can actually evaluate the layer. And actually this is the right way to read the layer, bottom to up. But if you talk about why this up and down, so it's just for understanding the concept. So how the receiver can receive the data, how the sender can send their data. But if you talk about as a learning perspective, we only layer. This is your whole and soul motto: physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentation layer, and application layer. Now let's discuss what this layer are doing in network, why we need this layer. Actually we I already tell you this layer are actually doing the making the standard in network. So if you talk about any network, without this layer it won't be possible to communicate with each other. So let's say we have physical layer. So what is the beauty of physical layer? Physical layer actually, they if you talk about any networking device, or if you don't know any networking device, don't worry, we will discuss in this entire playlist what is a networking device also. If you don't know, or if you know already what is networking device, it's good. So actually you know what physical layer is doing here. So your physical layer is actually physical layer means it is physical, it is present on your physical point, if you can think in this way. So means actually they are this physical layer, actually they consist of uh, networking device. What mean by consist of networking device? Actually this layer, you can think in this way. Let's say you share something to your photos or your videos on the internet. So what we can do, we can physically came to our PC, and then we do some process, and then we proceed to the task. So that's how that's the mean of physical. So you can physically come and transmit and process your data and your other activities. That is the meaning of physical. So you can physically come your PC and you can let's say you share something, so it can create a one packet, and this packet goes to in a operation. So what kind of a operation? There may be a networking kind of operation. They convert this file into the bitwise, and this convert in bitwise, so maybe they in 0101 format. So now network know this is a packet, so this packet can network take to the physical, this packet come to the physical layer. Now this physical layer send this packet directly to the data link layer. So now what is the beauty of data link layer is, you can think in this way, the whatever the service you have, let's say we have a router in our personal home. So if you send something, if you send create a packet, and if you send something, maybe image or a video, so this packet goes through the your data link, so goes through your router only, because your router is a gateway. What is gateway? If you know, if you don't know, don't much worry about. We will see in this topic in practical what is gateway, why it is a router is also called a gateway. So now this is the now this data link layer consists of device. Device means like router, switch, hub, bridges, Ethernet, or there are so many devices we can discuss in future. So this is the this data link layer can consist of device, and if you send any packet, so this packet goes through your device. Any networking device, it may be switch, router, or hub, repeater, bridge also. Any other devices also we have. We will see in that devices session. So now this packet or this data link layer now transfer or make forward this packet and send this packet to the network layer. Now what is the beauty of network layer? Network layer can take your packet with their information, and now with whatever the your packet can bundle it with the help of image or maybe videos, whatever it have. So your packet now know two things, that something data is there and it came from which router or which place or which origin they have coming from. So now your network layer, what will do, it will take these two information, your data, your network address, and your network area. This three information consist in one packet. Now this is your become a one packet. Now this one packet actually goes to another layer, and this layer is called transport layer. So if you talk about transport layer, so it actually it is a very simple. If you they can synonym their each other. So actually this layer is transporting your data, your packet, transporting your packet to their destination. Suppose let's say if A want to reach B, so A have to know the address of B, where is the A is, and if so let's say A reach to the B, so without any information A cannot reach to the B. So actually that is the that address kind of section is doing by your network, your transport layer. So now your transport layer consists one more source. Let's say we have data, network, and our IP address, and now your network also know where we have to deliver this IP address. So you can tell this information is also known as destination. This is the source and this is the destination. If you see in the A example, so if A want to say send something, or A want to reach to the B and want to give some present to the B. So A have their own packet. So packet, and A is like a source, and B is like a destination, which where A have to reach. So A can take their packet, gift maybe or goodies, and A can should have to IP address or the address of the B. So now A can reach easily to B. So this process that happening, A should have IP address of their own, not their own, the destination IP address they have A also, and their packet also or gift also. So these two packet or these two thing is consist this two thing consist these two thing which is the responsibility of transport layer. So transport layer can take care of your packet also, your data also, and your and whatever the sender IP address also, they take care of this information in their packet. So now this packet or this much data. So now the duty is done by transport layer. They know the IP address of sender or receiver. So they send this packet to session layer. And what session layer do? Actually, session layer is a layer which consists with the your medium devices, like if you talk about Apple, or if you talk about any like Windows and Linux also. So they consist of their medium devices. So what is the medium devices? Like in Apple we have Apple Talk, and in Windows we have WinShock. So actually this consists or this medium, actually they transmit in the network. So whatever the data come up through the network, so this medium can understand and verify what type of the medium or what type of the data or packet is coming through the network. So actually this medium is helping you to sessionize, to know what actually present in this session or in this packet. So packet is also sometimes is also like a session. So what is present in this session, this medium is helping you to check the session. So now after checking the session, it will reach to the presentation layer. This packet is reached to the presentation layer. So presentation layer what will do? It will convert or it will format. So what is meant by format or convert? Means let's say we first send the packet. So packet converted into the 0101 format. So now if you send me anything in 0101 format, so I can't able to understand. So actually this is the beauty of presentation layer. Presentation layer, what will they do? They convert this 0101 format into the your actual format of your file. So whatever the videos they send, maybe MP4, and maybe JPG picture kind of format also. So they present their packet in their specific format. Means this layer especially helping in converting a packet into one format to another format. And after this format has been done, so this layer can send this packet to application layer. So now what is application layer? I think you got the idea. So whatever the application you are using, nowadays we have so many applications, so it will send to their presentation layer present any format. They convert 0 and 0 1 into the their appropriate format, and they present to the application. So application can, with the help of application, now user can accept that data. So and that is the power of actually that is the very small use case of application layer. Is actually application layer can take the data with the presentation layer, and presentation layer forward the packet to the application layer, and application layer can now proceed to the user. So now user can understand what is the beneficial of this, what the sender can send me any data or a medium. So that is actually happening inside the network of layer. It is internally constructed by and internally managed by network, and any network and every network that you can see in this network, in this all the layer, have some their own duties and some their own beauties. With the help of this layer and this networking, they can consist this layer in one, you can say in this way, in one packet, and every packet can convert every emphasized layer into their any FA6 appropriate format. So that is the consist of layer, and this layer can so much helpful and so much beneficial, because if you want to communicate now anyone in this internet, so with the help of layers or OSI model, it won't be possible, because OSI model is only a one who make the standardization between all the users and all their in all their standard format. So with the help of this layer, you cannot communicate without this layer. This is the layer only can help you to communicate in their this layer have their own different beauties, and this without this beauty you cannot communicate inside this all layer in all their other layers. So I think we done with all parts. So yeah, I think I done with all this part. So if you have any question in this format, so you can basically tell me if you have any question, or otherwise we can conclude today's class. So guys, if you have any question, you can ask. Actually this lecture is so small because networking based mostly on theoretically part, so we only discuss the very basic thing only. uh, then upcoming session is very much important. It is especially on types of cables and network transmission media and networking device also. So if you gone through all of this, if you gone through this series, so you will learn much more thing in this domain. So any queries if you have, you can ask, otherwise we will conclude the class today. So any queries if you have, you can ask. So